The last thing before we get up out of here.
Sure.
In a country that has historically tried to emasculate black men, villainize black men, often put black men last, prioritize everybody else before black men. What words of advice or encouragement do you have for black men and young black boys?
The first thing is, you are not a problem. You are not a behavior problem. You are not a society problem. You are not a menace to society. You were not born a criminal. You are the wildest dream of your dead ancestors. That's point number one. Point number two, you are neglected because they say they don't need you, but then they want you to provide. You are neglected because they say they don't need you, but they're shoving a GI Bill down your throat. You are neglected because they don't need you, but they need you to run up and down a field and run up and down a court or hit a ball or kick a ball. They want your brilliance. They don't want your tenacity. And I hate to break it to you, if in fact we believe scientists, if in fact the first human being was found on the continent of Africa, does that not mean that the first male was black? So if black women are the mother of civilization, we are inevitably their father.
The father.
The father of civilization, meaning that you come from a royal line and you need to start accepting that. And by the way, masculinity isn't toxic. This soft, sweet, moist, sappy, sassy ass culture that they're telling you to be a part of is what's toxic because it's unnatural to everything in you. And I'm not judging anybody. I am stating fact. There is nothing wrong with being a man. There is nothing wrong with a man settling differences. There is no man who can date my daughters that can't come across my threshold first. And you know what he'll see? He will see me exercising my Second Amendment right to clean my guns while I explain to him what he will and will not do. Because anything he does, I'm going to do to him with the thing I express my Second Amendment right with. That's what a father does. That's what a man does. Manhood leads. Manhood recognizes its mistakes and takes accountability for them. Men get therapy. One of the most masculine things you can do is say the 3 words black men have been conditioned, trained, and horsewhipped into not saying. I need help. Black men have been conditioned and horsewhipped to say the 3 words that have been killing us. I got this. And we don't. We need each other, and we need to normalize the fact that when we get together, it is not a situation, respect and love to our women. But black men experience things in a way that's completely different. I do not know what it is like to have a period, so I don't tell my daughters what it's like to have a period. I left that to my wife. Do you understand what I'm saying to you? We need to make sure that we are putting a circle of protection around the ones that we can, because we cannot do it for everybody, because everybody's either unable or unwilling, or it is too late for. We have to understand that there's a certain level of population that is never going to catch what I'm saying. And that's what it is. Everybody else has their trash. And I'm not calling anybody trash. I'm saying that there are certain people that can't be reached because they're too set in their ways. Right. But for those of us who are willing to go in a different direction, for those of us who are willing to turn around, for those of us who are willing to mentor, who are willing to show up. I created a Black Boys Win initiative, went on national television, and the female co-host said, "What about black girls?" I said, "I'm sorry, have you met Beverly Bond? She did a thing called Black Girls Rock. You're having an award ceremony on BET, and shout out to Beverly Bond. Love that woman." Black girls, #1 educated, highest in student loan debt. Black girls, #1 in the C-suite, first to get fired. Black women have systems in place. The reason that Black Men Heal exists is because we need to heal. We need to be able to cry. We need to be able to learn how to channel our anger in a way that is productive. That's why I tell you as a father, if you're not taking your kid to learn some type of combat sport, I don't care if it's mixed martial arts, Kempo, Krav Maga, karate, boxing. Teach your child how to use their hands, because you can't get everything through the metal detectors. And guess what? You can beat an assault charge. It's hard to beat second-degree murder. I'm saying this. Take control of your families. As the man goes, so goes the family. As the man goes, so goes the neighborhood. At some point, you have to stand up. You have to stand up physically. You have to stand up emotionally. You have to normalize hugging your child and finding out what's going on with them, and stop disrespecting your children by saying, what do you want to be when you grow up? I was a full-time broadcaster at 9 years of age. The hell you mean what you mean when I want to grow up? So I'm going to waste 18 years. I'm going to waste a third, if not a quarter of my life to when I grow up? Well, that's funny because there was a time when growing up was 16. There was a time in this country when growing up was 13. So what's your definition of grow up? Oh, it's 18 because that's when you're old enough to smoke? Or is it 21 when you're old enough to drink? Or is it 18 when you're old enough to go in this army and then deal with all the PTSD you're dealing with? Mm-hmm. So I say to every single black man within the sound of my voice, and any single parent, grandparent, auntie, uncle, godfather, godmother, god person, non-binary, hoobly-doo, raising a black man. Get them some therapy, get them some training, prioritize nutrition, and stop buying into the narrative that we are the problem. We're the solution. Because if black men stood up, and I'm not going to do a Dr. Umar on you where I blame all the ills of black women on black men, but if black men stood up and say no more, it ain't going down. If we stop worrying about whether or not, we're going to get some tonight if we don't vote a certain way, if we said no more and said, listen, this is how it is, because I'm going to tell you this. I got Arab friends, my way or the highway. My Jewish friends, my way or the highway. My Chinese friends, my way or the highway. My black friends, yes, dear. And I'm not saying that in all those cultures, because Henny Youngman said, take my wife, please. But I'm not saying in all those cultures, there's not a whole lot of yes, dear, because there is. Mm-hmm. But when the rubber meets the road, listen, to quote Roman Reigns, I'm the founder of the feast. I'm the head of the table. I'm the tribal chief. That's it. Mm-hmm. I make the bacon. I cook the bacon too, if my wife is tired. You want to know why? Because I retired my wife in 2012 and she homeschools our autistic daughter. So I don't want to hear nothing. I'm standing on my square, even when it's hard, even when I make mistakes, even when I don't know what to do. And there are times, believe it or not, where the know-it-all don't know what to do. I'm man enough to admit that too. I'm still here fighting. Do not give up the fight. Do not give up your manhood, and stop giving your balls away to society and people who are telling you that you can't hold your own nuts in this world. You can, because there was black men who held their nuts in this world, which is why we have freedom. There was black men who held their nuts in this world, which is why we have the advancements that we have. And I'm not going to let you trample on our rights. Men have a right to be heard. And I'm so happy that I see 3 brothers out here with a platform speaking up for men, because a lot of these folks is talking crazy, both male and female. Sure. So I salute you for that. But yeah, that's what I'd say.
Thank you. Yeah, and right there, man.
Yo, Dave Anderson, man, let them know where they can find the book, where they can find you at.
Yeah, so you can get the book at therealblackagenda.com or anywhere that books are sold. You can follow me on all platforms at The Business Bully. I am currently touring. I am looking to get to every single black-owned bookstore that I have not set up a tour date with to have a conversation. Did I duck one question?
Not at all.
And we have more questions. I'm like, damn.
Listen, bro, I ain't got no job. But I want people to understand. I wrote this book because y'all kept asking for solutions. Now you got them. And then I don't like to read. Fine, it's on Audible.
Mm-hmm.
And it's entertaining.
And I read it myself. No AI. I got up every day at 4 o'clock in the morning. And sometimes you can tell the chapters I read at 4 o'clock in the morning because I don't want to wake my family. It goes from this to black people need to get it together. These are the things we're suffering from. And by the way, and then that's when
everybody wake up.
So, but yeah, no, I wanted to make sure not only that I have a graphic novel version of The Real Black Agenda. If you're a believer, I have a Real Black Agenda devotional. I'm hitting every single type of demographic because there's different ways to be black and all of them are beautiful. But I want to make sure I hit as many black people as possible. And I want to say one thing real quick, if I can give one shout out.
No, go ahead.
I want to give a shout out to my good friend Erica Campbell. Yes, that Erica Campbell. Yes, that Erica Campbell from Mary Mary. That Erica Campbell who allows me a platform to push the Real Black Agenda when a lot of mainstream syndicated radio shows won't even take the call, won't even have me on. And if I do get on, they bury the interview because they're afraid of rocking the boat with their masters.
Okay, the bars right there.
Okay, you say you're a rapper, man.
Hey, listen, like, there's shots out.
No shots. I speak facts. There are interviews I've done that have been buried. That's just how I feel. You know what I'm saying? I ain't running from no conversation. I didn't duck one question, even the uncomfortable ones, because I stand on my score. On every word I wrote in there, I meant it. And I got another book coming November 18th called Weapons of Mass Destruction. They gave you the circus to pull the wool over your eyes.
We need that too, but I do want to. I know you mentioned also on the book, like there was some, I guess, static between you and DL, like, or they were against something that you said.
Oh yeah. So I went on a podcast called the Smitty and D podcast. A woman named Tony D and her father host this podcast. And Tony and I are sitting down. I go to Atlanta because for me, Atlanta gives me more love. Like New York and Atlanta are my top markets, even though I'm from Philly. Philly's 3.
Yeah.
Even though it should be number 1. But
for sure.
Again, I ain't fly enough. I don't scam enough people. So anyway, I'm doing this podcast, and what I said was, she says to me, Dave, what do you think of reality television? I said, I hate it. And I can't remember everything that I said, but what I said was, you got this image of black women that is not who black women are. You know, you got the weave down to here, you got a BBL that's killing y'all and your thighs don't match, you got eyelashes out to here,
the same shit
and
over there,
you got, you know, you got these jobs. Now, for those of you who have never been in reality television, they have these people called story editors. Story editor is a fancy word for writer. So they conduct different things and they put people in certain places. It's not reality. It is scripted and shaped and put in a box, and then they let them go.
Right.
And they'll say, well, such and such said this about you. Look at this right here. Or I heard such and such said this about you. And then they'll take the camera outside the bathroom. And that's why you had the captions, because they didn't know they were being taped. All of these things happen. If you have, and this is as a business owner, if you have a boutique, right? And somebody gets hurt in the boutique, you know what that means? You liable. So how is it they fighting in their boutiques and in their businesses if this situation wasn't staged? That's what I said. I'm talking about real business. And when I said that, people are like, you can't say that women having a boutique or eyelash line isn't real business. I have a friend who's a business partner of mine. Her name is Elizabeth Jennings, the Minister of Beauty. You can look her up on YouTube. She's a phenomenal esthetician. She has not 1, not 2, but 3 locations in the Carolinas. It's called Carolina Eye Candy. She does eyelashes and brows and skincare and all that good stuff. So I'm not speaking against my own financial interest. I'm calling a spade a spade. If this was real, you would have been sued for assault. There would have been some arrests. There would have been some liability. But they manufacture this. Not only that, D.L. Hughley had some issues and he started calling me a blogger when you know my name. Your executive producer used to be my boss. The guy who used to write your jokes was sitting in that room, and your co-host used to work with me in Nashville. I was like a big brother to her son. I helped raise her son. So this isn't like, you know who I am, but you're a gatekeeper and you're afraid to have a conversation because I'm not a meme. I'm not walking around asking people what they find suspicious. I'm telling them what's suspicious and standing down on it. Not a Roland Martin, not a D.L. Hughley, damn sure not a Ricky Smiley. And I'm not calling out people to call out people. I'm stating names because you asked. Will ever have that conversation with me without, go to my iPad. Where's my phones, Eli? Where are my phones right now?
In the bag.
Good 30 feet away from me, right? Did I have to look at anything? Did I have to reference the book that I wrote? No, because I'm not from the GED section. I'm from the REAL section. And over here, I'm outraged because if the least of us start doing bad, all of us are doing bad. But to act like the solution can only come from one place because you are bought and paid for by them is problematic at best and damn near selling out at worst. Period, point blank. And I stand 10 toes down on that. Reality television is a poison in our community. Andy Cohen is caking off, and to act like he's not is crazy. And what I also said was, you will sit up here and bastardize the name of Mona Scott, and I got issues with Mona Scott, sure. But there is a guy named Jim Ackerman. That's the creator of Love and Hip Hop. Do you know what Jim Ackerman looks like? No, you don't. But he is palm colored. Yes, yes, he is. Ace is right. Ace is high right now. He's right. He's right. And I don't mean Ace is high. I mean Ace is high like he just won.
Oh, you're on fire.
That's what I'm talking about. So he got mad at that. Jamel Hill did an entire think piece on YouTube about me. But when I said sit down with me and had a conversation, you know what I got? Bought and paid for. Again. Because all they're taught is, and all they're told to say is Orange Man bad. And yeah, he's bad. But you know who else is bad? The people who've been paying and getting paid to keep us in our predicament. Period. And by the way, if you're mad at Donald Trump for the business things he did, why aren't you mad at Nancy Pelosi for being the greatest day trader since E.F. Hutton? No one has a better trading record than Nancy Pelosi in American history. As far as I know, I could be wrong, but I don't think she does. She ain't missed yet. Why isn't she on the stock market? Oh, she's doing the will of the American people? She helping black folks? Oh, because she took the knee and put the kente cloth around. Y'all like that? Yeah. Good boy, son. Shout out to Ed Lover.
Listen, man, we appreciate y'all tuning in. Make sure to like, subscribe, leave a review. I don't, whatever platform y'all listening to. Make sure
that's a fact, man.
Like, I don't know.
Yo, cop that book, man.
Cop the book, man. Like, yo,
TheRealBlackAgenda.com. Cop the book.
You already.
You guys on the next one, man. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. This might be my favorite interview. I ain't gonna lie to you.